even among the super rich.
If you were to confiscate, not tax, but confiscate, every penny owned by every millionaire and billionaire, as the president says, in America, you would get about 10% of our future liabilities in this country. So you wouldn't come close to balancing the budget.
Millionaires face a 35% tax bracket. The middle class face 15 to 25%. At issue is making millionaires pay more than 15% on their investment incomes. This tax increase debate is happening as the so-called Congressional Super Committee searches for ways to cut $1.5 trillion in spending over the next decade. The National Taxpayers Union says there are better ways to strengthen the economy than adding new taxes for anyone.
It would amount to perhaps a 5 to 7% annual reduction in federal spending, if that. If the federal government can't find those kinds of savings, well, we're in deep trouble because raising taxes certainly won't get us out of this recession.
Even opponents of the president's latest plan concede Washington's ways of working with your money must change.
So we're going to have to bring down spending in some way, not just raise taxes.
I'm Megan Gilland reporting.
That tax plan was the subject of tonight's Facebook chat. And Shanna says, yes, taxes need to be raised on the wealthy. Anna writes, I agree with the idea of a flat tax, no deductions, no write-offs. That is the only fair way. To join that conversation, just log on to facebook.com/WEAR-TV.
And more than searchers flocked to Utah today, hoping to find Susan Powell.
The 28-year-old woman has been missing since December 6, 2009. Her husband, Josh Powell, says he took their 2 young sons on a winter camping trip and returned home to find his wife gone without a trace.
The driver of a drag boat was hospitalized in California over the weekend after the boat exploded and broke apart. It happened during a qualifying heat for the annual San Diego Bay Fair. Witnesses say the driver lost control at speeds of more than 150 miles an hour.
Kind of did a corkscrew up in the air, and all there was foam and pieces flying everywhere.
The driver is identified as 50-year-old Mark Porter. He is hospitalized in fair condition.
A 10th person has died as a result of Friday's plane crash at the Nevada Air Show. 1 person remains in critical condition and 5 are in serious condition at a hospital in Reno. 70 spectators were injured after the crash. Federal officials say the crash investigation could take up to 9 months to complete. Pennsylvania high school officials are currently investigating a huge brawl that happened Friday night during the 4th quarter of a football game. After a kickoff return took players onto the sidelines, things started to escalate and they got out of hand quickly. Punches were thrown. You see it here. The Pennsylvania Interscholastic Athletic Association placed both football programs on probation. 14 students will be suspended, 7 from each school.
And it was an odd sight. Gumby trying to rob a San Diego area store. Police did not find it funny, and they started looking for the suspect. Well, he turned himself in a few days ago. As Allison Ash reports, now he's telling his side of the story.
I never walked into that store claiming, like, I had a gun. Do you want to see it? Like, saying this is an attempted robbery, like I'm going to rob you. You know, I never said nothing like that.
Jacob Kiss admits he's the man in the Gumby suit captured on this surveillance video. He says he wasn't fumbling around inside the suit for a gun, but reaching for his wallet to pay for a pack of cigarettes.
In the video, it's clearly seen that, you know, that I never, you know, exposed a gun, even though people are thinking that I was fumbling for one.
The clerk told police Gumby said, "This is a robbery. If you don't believe me, I'll show you my gun."
I never said any of those words.
You never said robbery? You never said gun?
No. Never. Those never came out of my mouth.
Kiss agreed to speak with 10 News to clear up what he says are false claims that are ruining his reputation and could send him to jail. So why would the 7-Eleven clerk lie? Kiss says since he's from the Philippines, he may have misunderstood.
So maybe since I was talking in a British accent, he got the words twisted. But then again, I'm thinking this. Maybe since the clerk thought it was a joke, maybe the boss, you know, told him, you know, say these certain words.
Kiss and his friends seen here walking into the store behind him turned themselves into police this week, and Kiss surrendered the Gumby suit he says he wore frequently to bring joy to other people's lives. He now waits and wonders whether he'll be charged with a felony, and says in hindsight, maybe the Gumby suit wasn't such a good idea.
and I really don't recommend anybody else